Liberals getting triggered by Confederate Memorial Day. Worship people that want to. It's only in like 3 states, and it's basically the southern states that are celebrating, and the liberals are getting triggered by it. It's like, well, we get to have all these other holidays, and nobody gets triggered over that. But if it's anything, it's nationalist uh, holidays. That's where we get a lot of the trouble. But yet the liberals want all of their days to be recognized, like Black History Month and stuff. But we have a Confederate Memorial Day to honor those who died that were in the Confederate Army. That's not allowed. The liberals say we shouldn't be allowed to even acknowledge that. But yet they were part of America in our history. We can't just wipe them out just because it triggers liberals and they don't want to think about what happened back then. And back then it wasn't really that evil. Just the way it was. And a lot of the black people back then, they didn't want to leave the plantations because they were scared, because that's all they knew. And if you look at the history, that's exactly what happened. Because they had no skills, they had no way to take care of themselves. So they stayed. A lot of them tried to stay, and a lot of them were kicked out by the North. The North Carolinians kicked them out and out of the plantations and burned down the Southern people's houses, and it left the slaves homeless, basically, essentially, and they had nowhere to go. And they were ousted by everybody because back then they weren't accepted. So it was kind of a joke in a sense because the people back then were a lot better off. When they were freed, it was like they didn't know what to do. And look at people now. It's still kind of screwed up. But you know what? That's the way society is, but it doesn't mean we can't remember what happened. Liberals are fucking retarded. And look at our map. Look at New York, full of libtards. Everything. But the South in the middle, it's more conservative. But what can you do about it? That's the way our country is, and what happened in Canada, right above us, some fool in Toronto, who I think is Middle Eastern or whatever, hit people with a van. And what are liberals going to say? Oh, we should ban vans now? They just don't know what to say because they know deep down that Donald Trump is right about closing the borders, closing the door. Uh, we have enough problems already with our own people. We need to deal with our own infrastructure, and um, I wouldn't worry too much about the Syria thing because he hasn't done any more airstrikes since those first two. And we're not fighting with Russia, and we're not fighting with China, like all the liberals would like you to think. It's actually evening out. Things are starting to level out, and Trump is showing his power, and he's getting the respect that we deserve. Uh, Healthcare, uh, no one's losing their healthcare. That's retarded. There's people that still have Medi-Cal that aren't losing their Medi-Cal. If you can't pay, you could still go to the doctor. So the liberals are wrong on that respect. They're stupid. Um, it's going to be found out more and more as people start to wise up that the liberals are lying about the situation at hand. Not much has changed, as in so the healthcare program itself. People can still get Medi-Cal, but it gives other people the choice to decide if they want to buy medical and what they want to buy and how much they want to pay for what they need. That's the way it should be. It should be choice. And that's what the liberals want to take away is the choice to pick for yourself what you want. And they want it communist. They want it communist. So Bernie Sanders wants uh, rations and all that and have the government tell you what to do and you live in government housing. It's just not going to work. People should rebel from it and fight. And they're all saying, oh, it's going to be a blue wave in 2018. You guys are going to lose the House and Senate. Um, let's hope not, because then Trump won't get stuff done. So people just stay home and they don't vote Republican. They could possibly get the Democrats that they want in the House and Senate, which will they'll vote against everything Trump is trying to put through. And you have to do executive order, but even when he does executive order, it's not permanent. Some of it can be erased by the next president. We don't want that. We want stuff that's going to be in stone, where the Democrats can't take it out. Uh, it's just insane. But anyways, it's just getting worse and worse. And they were hoping that the dude that ran over people in Toronto was a white guy that uh, was a gun owner or whatever. They were hoping, but it wasn't. And then that dude that shot people in the Waffle House or whatever, they're like, oh, he's a white supremacist or whatever. Uh, you know what? They might find out the dude's, I hope, for their sake, is not a Bernie supporter, because if he is, I would say actually, let's hope it is a Bernie supporter, because it'll prove that their party is totally crazy and that they shouldn't be allowed to bear arms. If you're a Bernie supporter, you shouldn't be able to have arms. You know, if they want to say it to us, so if you're a Trump supporter, you shouldn't be allowed to bear arms. No, more likely if you're a liberal Democrat, you're more crazy, and you try to blame it on Republicans, and that's not right. They were trying to make it look like a Dylan Roof thing because the people that got shot in the Waffle House are like, oh, they were all black people that got shot. Well, it doesn't mean it was racially motivated because the dude was naked. So he was probably a freaking nutcase, probably a Bernie supporter that's still pissed off that Bernie lost and he was cheated out of the nomination. He just wanted to kill people because he's freaking crazy. And they caught the dude. Yeah, they got him. But don't blame it on Trump. Don't try to pin it on him. Oh, he used an AR-15. And it could also be a setup, too, because he used an AR-15. That's what the liberals are battling against, is getting rid of the AR-15s. It's not the gun, you dumbasses. It's the person. So the person is crazy. That's why he shot people. And stop blaming the Southerners for everything. Leave them alone. Let them memorialize the South if they want to, the Confederates. Just like the Union soldiers are being memorialized, the Confederates deserve to have a memorial too, because they were Americans just like you, and they wanted to live in peace, and they wanted to keep their land. So what? Big deal. Liberals are against freedom. They don't want you to have any freedom to do what you want in your own country. They want you to do what the government tells you, and that's not right. And they're trying to bully Trump out of the office. It ain't going to work. Because Mueller's got nothing. They've tried everything. Stormy Daniels, they didn't talk about Stormy Daniels today at the press conference. So obviously it's not working. There's no proof. They got nothing on Donald Trump. And they've got nothing on Sean Hannity. Because Sean Hannity's still in there. And they're trying to go the attorney Cohen or whatever his name is. There's some dirt on Sean Hannity and some dirt on Trump because of Cohen with the client attorney privilege. We can see if Trump paid off women to not talk about what happened. It's bullshit because his wife is not buying it. She wouldn't stay by his side if she was buying that crap. So anyways, let's see what happens in the next few days. See if Mueller or any of them retards come up with anything. And if they do, they try to kick the president out, it's going to be war. And it's going to be worse than the South fighting the North. It's going to be all over the damn country. It's just going to be game on, and no one's going to have we're not going to have nothing to lose. Arm yourselves. That's what I say before the liberals try to take all the damn guns away. They're retarded.